There, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another car video. Two types of men that women find sexually appealing. Sexually appealing. And before I really get started, let me shout out one of my supporters that I see in the real world. I see him at my other gym. Brother B, Alpha Showpiece. That dude like this. Shit. We up here chopping it up in the gym while my sons are warming up on the treadmill, and some woman gonna come back like, hey, I'm like, okay, she won't talking to me. Yeah, he said, hey, shout him out. Hey, I'm gonna shout him out, dude. Look like he bench pressed about 400. So, but nah, that's a cool brother, and he's like living proof of the body game, right? And also, I got this new membership thing on here. Check it out this morning. I'm going to talk about women who lie about their status. And it's definitely that the membership side. I'm just talking about issues strictly dealing with select dudes. All right. So let me get started. I'm sweating like shit. Brother be working out. Anyway, right? Check it out. Two types of men that women find appealing, because everybody, you got all this talk on here. People get more and more into the whole looks thing, which I say, yeah, it does make a difference. But let's be clear on something. Let's be clear, and I've done videos talking about this before. A guy can look good, like be attractive, but he don't arouse the woman sexually. Those are two different things. Now, if a woman can get like that super handsome guy who's also sexually appealing in the same package, shit, or that guy has it, shit, he's on easy street. But a lot of times, if you talk to women, the guy that they'll say look good, but they'll say, yeah, he handsome, yeah, they'll even say he fine. But then if you hook them up to a lie detector test, well, who do you find sexually appealing? It might be something different. Now, in general, there are two types of men that women gonna find sexually appealing. Now, here's the interesting thing. It ain't necessarily for every woman like that tall guy with the jawline and everything and muscular body. For some it is, for some it ain't. But what I'm about to say is true for every single woman that has had sex, that has been imprinted. Now, people know, longtime people who follow me know, I've talked about the womb imprint. And the womb imprint is very simple. The womb imprint is what a woman does subconsciously. She creates like a blueprint for the type of man she wants based on the first 2 or 3 men that she has sex with that penetrate her, right? And this blueprint is based on not only his physicality, but his psychology, his personality and everything. And it basically says to the woman, okay, once these guys penetrate her, subconsciously, her subconscious says, oh, okay, this is what you like. Okay, I'm going to make it so you can attract this type of man. And, and that's why, for some women, it can be a good thing. For many women, it's a bad thing, right? And understand something. Even to get to that imprint, it starts in her natal personality, what her personality is like, right? So say a woman got abandonment issues in her personality. She'll subconsciously look for a guy who don't look like he'll abandon her. And this is irrespective of how he actually physically looks. Because understand, when you're talking about sex, it's not just a physical thing, but it's the personality thing. It's the mannerisms. It's the level of masculinity. All of that goes into the picture. So, she'll start there with her personality, and then subconsciously she'll look for somebody similar to her father or whatever male parental figure or male role model is in her environment. And then it comes down to whoever the most dominant boys are in her environment. Now understand something. This is why I say sex appeal, someone looking sexy to a woman and someone looking good to a woman can be two different things. Indeed, this is why a lot of guys who might be considered handsome, or even told they handsome, might not turn on a particular woman. And she could even look at him and say, he handsome. He don't match her imprint. Because, all right, because like I said, the imprint, she wants to be imprinted by the dominant boys in her environment. So that depends on where she lives. If she lives in a upper middle class neighborhood, it might be, the guys might not look like an alpha showpiece or something, but they fit. They the most popular boys. They the ones kicking ass. Maybe they might be the most popular athletes at the high-end private school or something like that, or they could be in the hood. That whole thing with Pookie and Ray Ray, that's a big reason why women will go for them even after they get out of the hood. If they get imprinted by some thug or something, or that's their imprint, they always look for that in a man, even if they become like a 92 climber and they get the education, become a corporate woman, they'll still have that attraction for someone with those personality traits and the physical traits of what they want. Let me get into that physical traits thing too, because there's a big deal. People say, oh, you gotta be over 6 feet and stuff, but what if the dominant dudes are 5'9" and stocky in that particular neighborhood? Or what if a woman has a personality where she's scared of the world, and the dominant guys to her are the straight up thugs or guys who will fuck somebody up or body slam somebody? So she might go for that bigger dude who's mean, a mean streak. Or what if for whatever reason she get with the crazy dudes? Like I've known some women, they get with some dudes who are mentally off. That's the imprint. That's the imprint. So one type that a woman's always going to look for is the guy that resembles her imprint. That's what she's going to consider sexy. Even if rationally she know, okay, this guy crazy, I need to step away from him, she's still going to feel that twinge. And if he's smart and pick up on that twinge, she know how to work his program. She ain't going to necessarily approach him, but if he can pick up on something, he'll be like, boom. That's why you see sometimes a very attractive woman with a guy, you wonder why she with him. Well, let me explain something about that too. A lot of times some dudes might see a very, like a dime. Okay, let me use that. A dime. A woman can look like a dime. She in her 20s, right? But she'll see every guy seeing with some dude who might be average looking, even under average looking, ugly or something. He'd be like, damn, why she messing with him? She all fine and stuff. That's because what they don't know, yeah, that woman got that tight body at 25, but at 15, she was the fat girl with crooked teeth and acne all over her face and didn't know how to keep her hair up. She just fixed herself up. She still had sex, but she ain't had sex with the cute boys in the school. She had sex with the ugly dudes or average looking dudes, right? And seriously. And even if she constantly try to get away from that, every time she see that guy, she'll do it. Seriously. In fact, a lot of times I can look at a woman who she with and get an idea about her imprint. If she really showing that she really into him and stuff, I was like, oh, okay, I know who got with you. And I've told some, I've scared some women. It's like, oh, what do you like? And they tell me, I was like, oh, so your first 3 guys were like this, huh? And they were like, damn, Rom, how'd you know? The imprint. Now, real quick, for people who might say, I don't believe in that imprint, look up the term love map. And it was a term coined by Dr. John Money. It's the same thing. Indigenous cultures knew about it. I remember one of my inner circle, they told me about Zulu culture. They would have, at least back in, I don't know if they still do it. If somebody's from that area, you can let me know. But, they would have the girls imprinted by the best warriors. So then afterwards, that's who they would look for. And there were many cultures in Africa, South Pacific, many indigenous cultures. That's how they did it. But since somebody might not be familiar with the indigenous side or what they were doing in certain African tribal groups, look up the term love map, and it says basically the same thing. It's just more from a Western point of view, And the love map, like I said, that love map is deep. Because say if a woman's imprint was a guy who tied her up and whipped her ass with some flogs, oh, guess what she gonna want? That's why you get a lot of women, they into all that fetish stuff and BDMSM and getting spanked. Or what if the guy kind of forced her, her imprint kind of forced her to give up the pussy? So okay, let me use that for an example. That's how serious that imprint is. All right, like he just came right to the edge of just taking a pussy, but just forced her and she just submitted. All right, she got that in her. She'll have trouble with guys who don't force it. Like you get one of those like guys, he might be a nice guy or something, you know, and he might be physically handsome, got money, got all the perfect stuff. And she might get with him, have sex, might even marry him. But she might either, before they even get married, just leave him because he ain't doing it, he ain't triggering her sexually. Or she might just find that guy who is going to be on that rough thing. That's how deep it is. So that's all women with that imprint, right? Now, that's one type. The second type, okay, say a woman run into a guy, he ain't quite her imprint, right? He don't match her imprint. In fact, he might be total opposite. The thing that'll turn her on, he's sexually dominant. Notice I said that. Now, yeah, she'll go for him. Yeah, if he look good or something like that, you know, she'll give him a shot. But then she's looking at his personality. Understand the thing about sex appeal. It's a combination of the physicality and the man's mannerisms. For example, a man could look good. He could be 6'2", look good, square jaw. But if he's moist, if he acting like a little sissy, a woman ain't gonna fuck him. She gonna be turned off. In fact, a lot of women get turned off by a guy that look too good to them. If he start acting a little fruity or moist, but then she run into the same guy, look the same way, but he's acting masculine or being masculine, being dominant, maybe even being a little rough or something, that turns her on. Because understand one thing about the woman's sexual nature, they express it better when it's an act of submission. Let me say it again, when it's an act of submission. So they want that guy who's dominant. That's why, you know, I see a lot of guys, they complain and women ain't want them or something, but it's like you're not behaving in a dominant manner. And that dominant matter could be like ice cold. They don't mean you talking or anything. It could be you just ice cold, but you walking, talking. They looking at the mannerisms. That turn them on. Like if you look a woman dead in the eye and say, you know, I don't appreciate what you just said to me. All right, you need to get out of my face with that. That'll get on wetter more than like, oh, please don't talk to me like that. Or whining or something. I was like, come on now. So in general, they turned on by a dominant mannerism guy. Like the looks will get them over there. Understand that. That's the bait. But then if you behaving in a weak manner, and I actually seen that. I knew this woman, she was living with this dude who was actually a model. This dude was actually a model, like an official model. But she used to dominate him. He was like, she was the dominant one in that relationship. She was the dominant one. She eventually broke up with him, and she actually got with a guy who was actually older than him. You know, definitely wasn't a model, but he was one of those dudes like, bring me my motherfucking ham sandwich now. And she'd be like, yes, sir. Seriously. No, if you generally have, look, that's why I promote the body game. One, you need to physically look like you can dominate her. You need to look like you can pick her up, slam her against the wall or something, or you physically look like you can take control in the bedroom. Physically look like you can take control, you know? And then you need to be masculine. Because what makes a woman sexy? What makes a woman sexy? And I've talked about this before. Her feminine nature makes her sexy. And her feminine nature is receptive, it's more passive. The masculine nature is more assertive, more take charge, like, huh, this is my house, you know? That type who's like, once you get in a bedroom, dominates her totally, you know? And so that's what they generally, that's on some primal stuff, because remember, the sperm goes out from the man into the woman. You know, her egg don't come out and find him. So, you know, and that was true. And I'm saying that in general, and I say it in a general way because every woman has a different thing. Like, let's get back to that thing about how men look. Like I said, every woman, she got imprinted by a different type of man. That's what they like. You can't say some general. You might have some guys that look like just on a pure looks thing look general, but you don't know what turned that woman out. What turned that woman out? And about that second time, real quick, I meant to say that. Sometimes I have to be flowing on here. In general, I would say this. A man need to look like he can turn that woman out. He can turn her out. regardless whether he matches her imprint or not. And women go crazy when they run across that guy, look like he can just dominate, turn her out, make her holler, bring her that pleasure, have her scream, really let go, have her go, ooh, ooh, ooh. She. Right? So that's if you don't match it. But if you do match the imprint, you know, she's automatically turned on. She'll be friendlier. Even if she don't want to be. She'll be friendlier. And it's based partly on your physicality, but also partly on your personality. You know, your mannerisms, how you behave and everything. That's why, seriously, that's why a lot of times women can look at a dude and say, yeah, you handsome, but then they sitting there, they ain't turned on at all. They like, huh? And then some other dude don't look as good, but that dude's personality and mannerisms and even physicality matches her imprint. You know, that's why sometimes I'm telling you, that's why you'll see a woman walking happy with some guy who don't look like that fashion model or alpha showpiece. Seriously, or they friendly. It could even go across races. I've met some white girls who got imprinted by brothers, so they don't go near no white guy. You know, or they got imprinted by another race or a certain social class. You know, they could have got imprinted by some creative artist type. You know, so that's what they look for. So anyway, y'all, that's it. I'll get back with y'all later. And definitely for those who for those who want to know about women hiding their status, join my membership thing, because that's where I do videos strictly for select dudes. And if you want to develop your sex skills, get to that point where you look like you turn out a woman, join my Patreon at $20 level. So anyway, that's all I got for today, y'all. I'll talk to y'all. Peace.